Alright, you guys, now we are on to the fourth Terminator film in the Terminator series reviews requested by Parker Smykle, and I have to say this one is my favorite, and this is the one that fans say it does not exist. Even a YouTuber named Sean Cobb says this movie doesn't exist to him. But hey, this movie exists. It's part of the franchise. Get used to it. Anyways, Terminator Salvation is the fourth Terminator film. It is directed by Magee, and it is once again distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures and Columbia Pictures in the international states. So, the year is 2018 in the film, and although Judgment Day has in fact occurred, the future for which John Connor was prepared has been partly altered by the appearance of a stranger named Marcus Wright. Connor must determine if Wright has been rescued from the past or sent from the future. As the machines prepare for a final battle, Connor and Wright delve deeper into Skynet's heart, uncovering a secret that could lead to the annihilation of mankind. Now, what I think of Terminator Salvation is, again, this movie is my favorite, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of critical backlash for it, but hey, I like this movie. I like it. It's pretty good. So, let's just start off by saying that this movie is pretty underrated. A lot of people just do not like this movie. I can see why, but at the same time I don't, because this movie here is awesome. It's awesome. Terminator Salvation is awesome. Now, to the filmmaker's credit, for a franchise initially conceived as a standalone film, things has been kept fairly fresh over the decades. Terminator 2, widely considered to be one of the best of the series, managed to expand and improve almost every aspect of the original Terminator. The third film, which is a guilty pleasure of mine, it still explored the ominous backstory further and switched around the robotic antagonist with mixed success. Now fully immersed in the post-Judgment Day world, fresh faces and astounding production values makes Terminator Salvation a unique and overall impressive entry in this series. From McGee directed this film, and we get a wildly different Terminator movie. It's dark, gritty, nightmarish. Gone are the days of the lone hunter, replaced with a post-apocalyptic hell rank with death, desperation, and vicious cold machines. I love dystopian visions, and to have such a world infused with Terminators is fairly awesome, to be blunt. The cinematography is draining, almost monochromatic colors. The planet Earth, after the bombs fell at the end of T3, is fully realized, even if other areas are not quite as fleshed out. Gone along with most of humanity is the consistent dry humor, mostly, as it's a good portion of the character-driven plot, Terminator 1 and 2, and yet, as I allude, the departure from the originals is bold and excited. 4 movies, 4 John Connors, keeping with tradition. Forever rising star Christian Bale, he takes over the iconic role, but this is less Connor's film this time around. Instead, the story is broken up amongst the future heroic leader of the Resistance, John's future or past is always confusing father, Kyle Reese, played by the late Anton Yelchin, and a stranger named Marcus Wright, which I've already. This is Salvation's largest flaw, that the plot is divided between 3 main characters, along with the requisite action leads fewer fully rounded characters. I understand that the setup must be established, and I hope that is something already in the I just wish we could have improved on that originally Terminator Salvation was supposed to be the start of a new trilogy, but disagreements and stuff started happening and negative reviews. The movie did make some money though. It did make some money. But now, I'm gonna say here, The story is simple, with complex veins running throughout as well. You already know what the plot is. The best news for the cruelly broken narrative is that all three plot lines are impeccably acted. Bale is great as always, Connor, putting forth a more tortured soul vibe that started brewing in T3. The late Anton Yelchin is nothing short of astounding in his ability to channel Reese from the original, played by Michael Biehn, both in his line delivery and presence on screen. And Sam Worthington is perhaps the best thing about this film. Another rising star and a formidable, charismatic, charming screen presence. Infused with spectacular special effects, some gripping and well-shot action sequence, you have a movie from 2009 that brought new life to the franchise. This movie was not as bad as the critics say, but it is disappointing to certain Terminator fans. But for me as a fan, I really enjoyed this movie. The acting is great. Bryce Dallas Howard, Common, everyone does a great job. Helena Bonham Carter is also in the film. The music is good. I love the music. Danny Elfman does a great job. For $200 million, the special effects, everything just looks amazingly well done. You also got Bloodgood with a little bit of screen time. The director's cut is 117 minutes. That's 3 minutes longer. And you only see I'm not going to go into it because Parker already has in his review of the Terminator franchise when he reviewed this one. The editing is good. Cinematography is nice. But if you're going to make a director's cut, have more footage. And there was a lot of controversies. Christian Bale controversy during this movie. A lot of controversy. And also, Jonathan Nolan and Paul Haggis went uncredited for their script writing. Really? This movie had trouble production, and this movie didn't deserve a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. You could have at least gave that a higher score. And originally this was supposed to be a new trilogy, but this has some legal trouble and bankruptcy protection and all that stuff. So we end up getting Terminator Genesis, which is the first in a new trilogy, which I got to review next. So yeah, Terminator Salvation, again, my favorite in the series. I don't think it's terrible, but it's not a perfect film either. But this is guilty pleasure when it comes to this. And this is part of Guilty Pleasure Movie of the Week. And I'm going to give this movie my Joshua Drake Rainbow Seal of Approval. Again, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for me to give it the rating. So let me know in the comments below what you think of Terminator Salvation. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And I'll see you guys for A Bug's Life.